It's enough, I think. It's enough, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green live stream on this kind of gloomy Saturday, but we got a little sunshine to share. So I'm your host, Edie, and I think this way is Mr. Scott Free.
Hey, everybody.
It's always reversed on the camera. So.
I don't know if we have sunshine. It kind of looked to me like it's green smoke. That's what it looks like. That's not, yeah, that's not sunshine. But this is what we're sharing. Yeah, we'll talk about what that green smoke is. It's gross, folks. That's Minneapolis.
Yeah. Well, the sunshine was going to be our first segment. You know, there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, yes, that's sunshine. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know who that guy is.
He's the sunshine.
Yeah.
He's the sunshine of my life.
Yeah. He's bringing a ray of hope into the darkness, and we're so excited to tell you about him.
Yeah.
And for those of you that know who he is and have already heard, I'm sure you're as excited as we are.
Yeah.
So
you want to bring up the...
Yeah.
So Greg Stoker, I actually met him in Chicago this past year. He was hosting it was on the 4th of July, and it was called Anti-4th. So he had some political, pretty hard rock bands playing. So I met him and hung out. He's a super cool guy. So he's running with the Green Party, folks, in Texas. He's running for Congress. And I just, that's another thing I love about him and about the Green Party combined. Here's his slogan. Just a guy who's literally not insane. It's so perfect. And haven't I been saying that all of the major politicians out there, if they're in on national stage, U.S. House and Senate, psychopaths. They actually, it's a sick kind of thing where they sign bills knowing they're sending in the next week the bomb drops over Palestinians. These people are sick. They're insane. So he is one who's not insane. So that's the difference between him and the Democrats and Republicans.
Yep. So I am going to drop the link to donate in the chat.
Yes.
They're still gearing up the website, but he has gotten a lot of attention online. The first day, I think he had 165,000 impressions on the video we're about to show you.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can break the internet,
Yes.
It needs to be broken.
Right? Oh, let me get. Okay, just let me.
I think it's ready. Let's see. Yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. I got our producer is traveling today, so
I'm in charge. Is it ready?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of y'all have been telling me to run for Congress for years now, so here I am doing it. We're currently in Chandler Creek outside of Round Rock, where Texas District 31 starts and goes all the way up north past Fort Hood. So this is a highly controversial site of a potential skybox data center. Incredibly wealthy corporations want to exploit communities across Texas with the lure of property tax revenue without regard to the crushing impact on communities. And these companies are getting incredible investment based on hucksterism, land grabs, resource seizure, all while piling up incredible debt with no clear path to profitability. That's the AI bubble for you. But you will not see any meaningful pushback in community protection from Democrats or Republicans, as both parties are two opposing brands owned by the same tech billionaire interests. And Texas is not a blue state. Texas is not a red state. Texas is a non-voting state, because really, what does historically our government have to offer you besides the tired old culture wars and identity politics as the house burns down around us? So I believe now the time is right, the only time, to begin a new type of politics, nonpartisan, working class. And it starts with affordability for us and accountability for officials who sell out Texas to corporations and foreign interests, trying to get you to hate your neighbor while looting your tax money and misappropriating it. So Texas District 31 is a packed race with a whole cast of characters. We got an 84-year-old incumbent clinging on to power in order to maintain the status quo. We got Valentina Gomez and her flamethrower, the Israeli ShamWow guy, and some Democrats, but really, who cares about them? We're not going to agree on everything, all right? But let's start here. My name is Greg Stoker, combat veteran. I'm not taking any corporate or PAC money, and I'm running for Texas Congressional District 31. Check out our website if you want to help out and learn more. I'm not going to be running a conventional campaign. I haven't hired a DC consultant to turn me into a fake person for your consumption. So if you need a slogan, Greg Stoker, just a guy who's literally not insane.
Oh my
How
God.
much do you love him?
And this is my opinion. But I think there's a real strategy there. And he points out the Republicans, and then he just says, and then there's some Democrats.
What's up, Brian? Israeli sham. Wow.
I know. There was an article that didn't make the show today, but there was an article from a Texas newspaper who had talked about the ShamWow guy and how he was going to run against whoever that is. I don't know, but like they had even gone to Ballotpedia, and they saw Greg Stoker it said Greg Stoker Green Party. And so they were contacting the Texas Green Party, like, what's going on here? What's going on? And Texas Green Party didn't respond. They were going to hold their information until the day. So
yeah, official launch.
Yes.
And like you said, like I don't even know what he's at now, but it's just blowing up. We have another video as well, but let's
so this is day 2 of his campaign. We're not going to show you every single day of his campaign, but
it's kind of fun.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
No, it's fun to watch this in process. It's really fun because
Sabby.
Did I get it? Oh, yeah.
I am going to do the Sabby first. That's
So yes.
Let's fucking go. I've had people reach out to me that I haven't heard from in years when I shared his video. They're like, I've been waiting for this. It's about time. Yeah.
And I said, I cannot think of a person. Honestly, I can't think of a single person I would want to run in the Green Party more than Greg Stoker.
Mm-hmm.
I like Nick Cruz a lot. And of course, Brianna Joy Correa, Sabby Sabs. But oh my God, Greg Stoker. He is the best. Mm-hmm. He's just a perfect combination of like ex-military nerd and anti-imperialist at his core. So he's the best.
Yeah, and we'll tell you more about him in case you don't know him, but I love this. Nonpartisan. If you're a bot, please feel free to post culture war and identity politics BS in the comments to help drive engagement.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And an amazing sense of humor.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So we'll play you the second video and then we'll tell you a little more about him. Let me see if I can find it. There it is.
This one, I don't think I can go full screen. I'll just let it go.
Okay.
So we begin day 2 of our election bid for TX District 31, kind of a moonshot campaign. And we want to thank everybody for your overwhelming support and contributions that have allowed us to build out a professional campaign staff, at least for the next month. So I just want to say one caveat about electoral politics. Do not let them lull you into complacency. I think both on the left and the right, we've noticed that when a candidate we're excited about runs or wins, we think that substantive change is coming. But electoral politics are just one tool in the toolbox to educate and organize people for the top versus down fight, not the left versus right fight. So we just want to thank you for your campaign contributions. I feel weird to continue to say this, but it's going to be a 10-month slog. And I can promise you one thing. We are not going to be wasting money on your money on the election industrial complex. All these consultants, which are basically just DC lobbyists, all of these antiquated mainstream media ad buys. I think one thing that's interesting about the political winds that are changing is Kamala Harris raised $1.5 billion and ran the most vibes-based, abysmally corporate campaign in living memory, I guess. So, we're in an interesting point, and a lot of political alliances are shifting, changing, disintegrating, and was a unique opportunity to find out what we all agree on. So thanks for your support. We're just going to take this one day at a time. So,
yeah. And I think it's interesting. He says, the political winds are changing, and he is the beginning of that. without a doubt. He's the beginning of that. I mean,
yeah. What did I say? Green wave. Let's do a tsunami.
yeah, and tsunami's coming, folks. Like we keep hinting, we know it. The next person that's dropping, so it's happening, and yeah, but oh my God, we're gonna revel in this for quite a while
until the next person drops, and even after. Yeah. Alexandria, what's up, Alexandria? Running for District 10 against Brad Schneider, the Zionist.
Yes.
By the way, someone should add up how many Greens are running for Congress in 2026 nationwide and share it around when people say the thing about us only being there every 4 years.
They are, Alexandria, they are doing that. In fact, there's a group that's just working on that so that when, it's going to still be a month or two before everybody's in with who their candidates are and everything. Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, that is part of their plan to show how many people are running.
And the rollout is super important. You got to like roll one out, give it space.
Right.
Let it build momentum.
And we learned from Jill Stein in a phone call that the most important day of your campaign is day one. Because she goes, you got to have a campaign manager and you got to have your donate button ready to go. Because she says you get most donations on day one. So. And
apparently she was right.
Well, he got enough for a campaign staff for a month. So good for you, Greg.
Yep. So what did we have coming up next? So we did that. So the next thing, I don't know if you have that ready. So Abby Martin has a movie.
Yes.
And I'm going to go up and check it out in DePaul University later this week. It's called Earth's Greatest Enemy, talking about the U.S. military. And guess who Abby interviewed not that long ago? Do you have the timestamp ready?
Yeah. What 0 to what? Do you have it?
0 to 3:16. All right.
Okay, here we go. Tell me when he got it up.
Got it up.
Greg Stoker, live from the Global Samud Freedom Flotilla en route to Gaza. You are mere miles away from the interception point. I guess just first talk about the veteran ship and just the entire initiative here. Like, how big are we talking about, Greg?
All right, so we have about roughly a little less than 450 individuals, about 44 ships. It's completely unprecedented, obviously, when it comes to the Freedom Flotilla and associated movements. We are currently just north of Port Said in Egypt. We should be reaching the projected interception zone at about 4 a.m. this morning. But, I've kind of assessed that due to the size of the flotilla and this being an unprecedented naval action on the part of the Israeli Navy, they could push out that interception zone further. So we are prepared for an interdiction or an interception or some sort of action tonight. We have a whole strategy about what that looks like when we are confronted in international waters by a state actor.
By a horrific regime committing genocide that you guys have had to put your bodies on the line to do what governments have failed to do. Greg, you're a veteran. You are on a ship of all veterans of conscience. I mean, these are people who have sacrificed. I mean, they've left their families and loved ones to basically do much more than just make a statement. Put your actual bodies on the line to say, this is urgent. We need to provide a humanitarian corridor and break through this illegal siege. Talk about that.
The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith Qudsi.
Well, first of all, I wanted to organize. I came on to this last minute to organize a veterans boat, and I really wanted to do that because
organized it.
Due to the grotesque militarization of the U.S. society, we have a lot of social and cultural capital as vets. Not necessarily with politicians who just use this as rhetorical talking points, but amongst certain people and certain individuals. And what we really wanted to kind of try and do with our messaging was to use our position in the flotilla to talk about why American voters should care. You have to explain how it affects them personally. So as veterans, we definitely want to say categorically that through personal experience, we know that whatever violence and forms of repression and colonialism that we perpetrate overseas and whatever mechanisms of repression we do, almost immediately, if they work, come back and are used on our own citizens. And I think Palestine is one of the frontline examples of that, because the technology and spyware and policing techniques and predictive policing models used to enforce occupation and apartheid in the West Bank and in Gaza in the quote unquote Palestine laboratory is literally at a local police department or ICE or ICE office near you.
Yeah, we're seeing all of these struggles interconnected. We're seeing all of this come to the forefront, is that the immigration policies, the policing, using Gaza as that experiment, like Gustavo Petro said. I mean, it's an experiment by the mega rich. This is what they're going to do against an uprising of humanity. So, Greg.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Edie, because I had not listened to the whole thing and I had no idea. We are covering that later in this show, that they have set up the tech. They have brought it here, and it's in every Chicago police, every police station, and ICE is using it. We'll talk about that in the show, but wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. The next one is whenever, so he was arrested. It's the Samud Flotilla, Israeli detention.
Mm-hmm.
So while you get that ready, I'll just talk a little bit about, Gaza's still happening. It's spreading. The cancer's spreading. The genocide cancer. It's in Lebanon now, and it's the same things, and West Bank, and I would say South America. The same kind of militarism and the colonialism, imperialism. All the isms, none of them good, that hurt people and, kill people and steal their land and make life miserable. Yeah.
I think I have it.
So, okay. And I was also going to say that the reason, Trump and company declared a ceasefire so we'd quit talking about it, because this was effective. This flotilla was effective.
Yep.
Oh, I still got that one. Is it the same one?
Oh, shoot. I thought I shared.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
yep.
is
Yep,
it?
it is actually. Yep.
And then the next thing when we start talking about the ceasefire in the UN, and then it's Venezuela, and then it's, I don't know, Canada, and then it's Greenland, and then it's this, and then it's Iran. So it's on purpose. They want to keep us off balance. But it's ready.
I think if it's wrong, just let me know, but I think it's the right one.
Here, I'm out of Israeli detention along with one other U.S. citizen, Mo, a Marine Corps veteran. As far as the rest of the U.S. delegation, we're not really tracking what's going on. In terms of other delegates who have been released, we're not really sure either. In the prison are kind of what you'd expect from a terror gulag. Basically, no showers, food scarcity. A lot of people are on hunger strike in protest to them withholding insulin from some of our detainees. We're told there are no doctors for animals. We're told that, they're going to try to get the rest of us out in 24 to 48 hours, but there is no transparency. None of us has seen lawyers. They're not following their own rules for self-deportation. You're supposed to be out of the country in 24, 72 hours. That hasn't happened. I think the only reason I was released is because some of the pressure from my own local representatives in Texas. We need to keep pushing and fighting to get the other people released. This is insane. Also, I would remind everybody that everything that happened here is 1/10, maybe less, probably less than what Palestinians go through in extrajudicial detention in Israeli terror prisons. Here because I had the privilege and luxury of getting shuffled on at the last second to a Slovakian charter flight arranged by that government to get me out of the country. This entire process is insane. There's a lot of bureaucratic incompetence. There seems to be a lot of political infighting between like Ben-Gvir's coalition and what other more liberal Zionist elements want to see. The entire process is absolutely confused, and they're not following their own laws.
Yeah. So, I wanted to add that I think Colonial Outcast, that's his YouTube channel. It's going to be really interesting because Colonial Outcast is Greg Stoker and Mark Wayne. And Greg Stoker has decided to take the path of electoral politics, and Mark Wayne is doing what we talk about a lot on here. So he's working with the Black Panthers in Oakland, and they're setting up a very similar system to what was done in the Black Panthers in the 60s, which is to have a parallel society. So you have your free healthcare, you have food, you have neighbors ready to help each other, you have self-defense ready to go with their arms. So that's happening. So it'll be really interesting because we talk about how, and he said, electoral politics is one tool in the toolbox.
This one.
Yes. And so that'll be really interesting. And what I love about Colonial Outcasts is they are very different than this group, that's very easy to do, to sit around and complain on your YouTube channel, right? They are doing things, they are acting. So it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And when that conversation was happening a few weeks back, somebody pointed out to me that Black Panthers ran for office.
They did. Yep.
So they didn't like throw that tool out of the box like, we don't need this wrench.
Right. It took them a little while, but they realized that the importance of that aspect. Yep.
It's all important.
Yep.
And you want to dismantle the system that is literally killing people in the street. You got to use all your tools because they have bigger, fancier tools, but we have more people.
Well, just warning, that didn't have a happy ending. COINTEL came in and assassinated many of them, threw all the rest of them in jail. So
yeah,
you're ready, folks. It's not going to be easy.
But if it's everywhere, they cannot control.
Correct. Right.
That's the key.
Yep.
So we wanted to bring you something from Electronic Intifada.
Okay.
It's called The Genocide Is Not Over in Gaza. I think it's a short. It should be right under the Samud Flotilla in our notes.
I think I got it. Let me know
right.
if you see it.
I do. There we go.
Okay.
The genocide has not ended so far. So people outside of Gaza need to know that it is still ongoing, but in other ways, in other silent, less visible ways. And this is something I heard from an eyewitness, someone who used to live in Shijaiya and was forcibly expelled after the yellow line expanded, etc. He told me that during the genocide, it was a genocide, an internationally recognized genocide, and everyone talked about it. And this actually made us a little comfortable that there is something going on outside of Gaza that would at some point stop what is going on. But now I feel that everyone has abandoned us because they are comfortable that the ceasefire went into effect and now Palestinians are able to eat, to return to their homes, etc. And the series of killing incidents were over. They are not talking as much as they used to do during the genocide, and this is what actually makes me disappointed. I'm quoting the eyewitness I interviewed. And this is actually a sense that we all in Gaza feel when we see talks and reports speaking or talking about the ceasefire, etc. On the ground, it's totally different. And people outside of Gaza need to continue their advocacy, their rallies, etc., to push their authorities, their governments, to make pressure on the Israeli authorities to actually end the genocide practically, not just in the news or on paper. The genocide has not.
Yep. Thank you for putting that in, Edie. That is so important, right? I mean, I know we got a million things happening here, but that has not stopped. Yeah. And I maintain that the ceasefire was a publicity stunt to get people to stop talking about it and gave the mainstream press something to make it sound positive, and then they could ignore it.
So they could go in and seal their land and create the Gaza Riviera and basically just complete the ethnic cleansing.
Right.
So the next thing that we have is an Instagram reel.
Okay.
So I was sent that this morning with a comment from one of our Illinois Green Party members, which I love her to pieces. Miss Mary Ann. Won't say her last name in case she doesn't want to be, but you know who you are. So she sent this to me. Still missing under the rubble, 21,000 children, and it's spreading to Lebanon. So when you watch Jan England, who, like Francesca Albanese, has been speaking out for 2+ years against the genocide, the Palestinian liberation, but yet most in the U.S. are still silent.
Did you want me to play it?
Hang on. We have to ask ourselves how we can get through the propaganda to reach the good common people. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that was a transcript. Okay.
Oh, no. That was Marianne saying what she had to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marianne.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can play it.
When I was first in Gaza a year ago, I encountered a story that I never imagined possible. In a hospital with a boy utterly broken from a bombardment, and his carer whispering to me. I didn't understand why he was whispering. He was whispering because he was explaining that this little boy, his entire family, had been killed. I'd never heard such a thing, and I didn't imagine I would, and I've now heard it dozens of times. And now I'm in Lebanon, and I meet Ali. I mean, 2-year-old Ali, who spent 14 hours under rubble and hasn't spoken for about 2 weeks because of that trauma. Only now in the last couple of days, little Ali speaks to a child psychologist and to learn that his mum has been killed, that in the airstrike his father was killed, that Ali's sister was killed, that Ali's grandmum was killed. You get Ali's entire family was killed. We have to ask ourselves, are those with power, those with influence to stop this, really going to watch in silence again while these horrors play out again? I don't know whether to scream or to cry. Brace yourself for a second. When I was first in Gaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that this show is so packed that we moved a lot of things to next week, but I'm just going to say, I don't remember the number, folks. This week, 137 Democrats voted to send money to Israel for more bombs to slaughter children. I don't remember the number, but these people are sick. They are sick. I am so sick of people talking about Democrats like, oh yeah, but this one's really going to be good and different. Jesus fucking Christ. You don't get a job at Lockheed Martin thinking you're going to get them to stop making bombs. That's not how it works. Stop it, people. Stop supporting Democrats. I'm so fucking sick of it. God damn. This is what you get, people. I know I'm yelling at the converted. I get it. Everybody here is on board with me. But Jesus.
Always a new batch of suckers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's weird. It's weird. And again, I think they cling to the concept of, that famous phrase, everybody loves a winner, right? They love to have something that they say, oh, but the others don't have a chance at winning. Well, that's why Greg Stoker's here, folks. This is the green tsunami. That concept is going to change. So,
and there's a lot of regular people running for office. He's regular people, but he's got more of a following. Which is good for us,
right?
And there's people that you will never remember their names and you haven't even heard of that are running.
And it isn't just that he's a celebrity, quote unquote celebrity. He's a celebrity for the right reasons. He's not just somebody who happens to be famous, like some singer, some entertainer, no. He's famous for his anti-imperialism. So
he's famous for putting his life on the line for Gaza.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one, I'm surprised. I pulled this from TYT. It's the fatal ICE shooting in Gaza are more connected than you think. So this is Anthony Aguilar. I don't know. I think it's a short, but if it's not, just stop it after the intro.
Okay. Did I put it up? Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. This one I can go full screen.
Yeah.
Been to Israel where ICE agents and DEA agents and other three-letter agencies train with the Israelis, and they bring those tactics back here. Families are suffering every day on the oppression that we export. We bring it right back here. Look around. We are the ones suffering. Children in Gaza are suffering. Fathers, mothers, families are suffering. We bomb boats off the coast of Venezuela. We blow up Colombians in fishing boats and say, oops. If you don't think that won't come to your neighborhood, think again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the terror is here.
Yep. I mean, there was we didn't have time to investigate it, but Norm Finkelstein says there's IDF in our ICE. We have to investigate.
Right. And no, I was just going to add to that. I saw what we threw so much into this show where the news was flying this week. Absolutely fine. I saw something that said the guy who killed Rachel Good was trained by IDF. I don't have proof. I didn't include it in the show, and we didn't have time to go in and find it. But we're seeing those connections, and I've heard people, activists saying this for quite a while. There is with the police in the U.S. and the Israel's police and IDF that there's training that goes back and forth. I don't know if they sent folks over there. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've been hearing that for years, so not surprised.
Yep. And just so everybody knows, all are welcome here because we are fighting. You know, like Greg was saying, it's top down. It's not left right.
Yep.
You know, but anyway. So moving on to what is going on in Minnesota. You know.
Yeah.
This is where our smoke came from. In our graphic for the show.
Did you want to read that or?
HC smoke is hexachlorothane, a military-grade smoke agent used for obscuration. It's highly irritating to the eyes and lungs, especially dangerous for children and infants. Using it around civilians or residential areas raises serious health and civil rights concerns.
And I don't know if folks had heard that they had thrown tear gas into a car with 6 kids in it.
Yeah.
Through it, and all the kids were hospitalized. So here's if you want to put up the little video, it's just showing, this night where they threw out that gas in a neighborhood.
Okay, let me find. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
And that, hang on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, look, they had to use irritants to advance because they're cowards!
That's Minneapolis, folks. Oh my God.
That's America. Is this the America that you signed up for?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it wasn't the America that I thought I lived in. I mean, and I know that other groups have been seeing this in different ways since the founding of the country. I understand that, but I've never seen it so out in the open.
Yeah.
They are just no holds barred, forget the law, anybody's game. Any of us could get caught just driving in through the wrong space at the wrong time.
That's what's happened all through this. I mean, so many people have been pulled out of their cars and saying, I was going to the doctor. I was not involved. I wasn't even involved in the protests. I just happened to be driving by.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the next one you have is that was the chemical release, the tracking every phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we have to keep it moving or we won't get to the end. Oh, it's playing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can start it over.
Okay. Yeah, start it over. Here we go.
Ready? Tell me when it's ready.
Yep, ready.
ICE can now draw a digital line around your neighborhood and see the location of every phone inside it. As thousands of federal agents deploy to cities like Minneapolis, an exclusive report from 404 Media reveals the surveillance tool they're using to hunt people down. It's called Weblock. Here's how it works. An agent draws a shape on a digital map, a city block, a workplace, or a protest site. The system instantly pulls up the history of every mobile phone that's been inside that shape. It shows where you sleep, where you work, and who you spend time with. It creates a pattern of life analysis to predict your next move. They don't need a warrant. They don't need a subpoena. They just buy the data from apps installed on your phone right now. Yesterday, an ICE agent shot and killed a U.S. citizen in Minneapolis during an operation. Today, we know they have the technology to watch the entire city without leaving their desk. ICE can now draw a digital line around your neighborhood and see the location of every phone.
Yep, that's what's happening. So again, the technology that they were using, because if you remember early on in the genocide, they had drones that would fly to a person's house and go and kill that person. So that technology, they're using it here now.
Yep. I mean, and where did they learn how to do this? By bombing and invading other countries.
And by getting Palantir, I know for a fact, I'm sure some of the others, Google's and Note, were involved too. But certainly Palantir is the highest profile one, which donated money to our
Raja Krishnamurthy.
Raja Krishnamurthy, our Democratic person running for senator, who we are running Joe Harrington up against. And yeah, he took money from the company that designed the tools by which they could go slaughter Palestinians one by one.
And was involved with the pager incident where they just blew up people with pagers
right
in Lebanon.
Yep.
This is who the Democrats are with.
Right.
This is who they take money from.
Yep.
And as you know, like Butch says, who funds you runs you, right? Yep. So I would say Raja Krishnamurthy is ran by Palantir because he won't give that money back.
No. Oh my God, folks. It was on CNN. Even CNN, they went at him like with 3 questions in a row about that. And at the end of those 3 really hard questions, he wouldn't say that he'd give the money back. Hello, people.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next thing that, I added this last minute. Sorry, Scott, I didn't push it by you, but Pam Bondi on the need to crack down on leaks of classified information. So this is the next link. It is Trump's war on journalism. Officials proudly defend raiding a journalist's home.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Amendment 1, it's the first one. Freedom of the press is in that one. Okay. President Donald Trump's administration proudly defended the FBI raid of Washington Post reporter Hannah Natansen's home. Officials insisted that Natansen should have returned classified information that she allegedly received while invoking President Barack Obama's attacks on freedom of the press to excuse their intensified assaults on the rights of journalists. The firm's support from Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and the Trump White House was emblematic of an administration that has repeatedly singled out reporters as enemies of the United States. In fact, the administration has long wanted to abuse law enforcement to force newspapers and media outlets to reveal their sources. Pam Bondi adopted new guidelines in April that encouraged the use of subpoenas and other investigative tools against journalists to stop leaks. She condemned her predecessor, Attorney Merrick Garland, for favoring overly broad procedural protections for his media allies. Wow.
Yeah. I was going to quickly see if I could find a meme I had saved. No, I'm not going to be able to find it. But basically, it was just that somebody had leaked to the press the plans to go and kidnap Maduro, and they leaked it to the New York Post or Washington Post. There were 2 papers that they leaked it to. They refused to share that with the public. They didn't go ahead and do what the whistleblower is doing. They said to protect the Marines or to protect our armed forces.
They always say that.
Yeah. So
anytime they want to do something super shady, it's a security concern, or it's state secrets, or it's blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah, and here's why this is important. You remove the press, and you won't know about people like this man, Christopher Webb, posted it. A black man was killed by ICE off duty in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve, and like Renee Good, he was an American citizen, but most people have not heard about Keith Porter.
Right.
I need you all to think about and understand something. Black people experience this lack of visibility all the time when it comes to being victims.
Right.
There are countless Black victims that no one has even heard about, much less seen the public fight demanding answers and justice.
And yeah, they are definitely attacking Black folks. I mean, U.S. citizens. I mean, they don't even ask. Of course, they don't ask. But no, they are absolutely attacking Black folks in these raids that they're doing. And I wanted to just say one more thing about the press. The press is supposed to be antagonistic. Obviously, the Washington Post and whatever the other newspaper was, they are pro-war. That's why they did not leak that information, because they are part of the system that does this.
Yep. And and they can do this in silence where you can't see. So I did watch Nick Estes's a little bit of his video that he put out, and he said, for whatever you think it's worse. Yep. I had to remove someone because I know this person and I know what they're up to.
But thanks for contributing in the chat. I've been
Thanks for pushing the algorithm. We're not going to go on the road again, buddy.
No, I haven't even looked at the chat yet, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry if I was distracted.
going on rants. I was going on rants. And let's see. I don't know. I think we could skip maybe this first one because the video is just not very good. But the second one, I am disabled.
Oh no, the second one is the beating by a homeless man in Minneapolis. Beating of a, sorry.
Oh, you're right.
Not by a. Not by a.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Not even close.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we got that. Or no. Yeah. Go. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey! Stop kneeing him in the face! That's his face! Stop it!
Back up or you'll be arrested for impeding.
I'm backing up.
That's
Yeah, that's
they're just repeating it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was something new.
So
as far as I know, this man was just sitting in his car. He's homeless, and it's our system that helps create the conditions to where he's freaking homeless. Yeah. This is a new person, Ed Lee. Oh, New York City. Yeah. Yes, we have been shadow banned. Okay. Yeah, I know who that is too.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. Are they talking about Green Live Stream or Green Party? I don't know.
Oh, everybody.
Well, yeah.
Anything that is challenging the authority.
Right.
That's totally true. Yeah. So you want to play I haven't seen this one, so.
Yeah, this is the woman who was trying to go to the doctor.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Oh no, that's it. Sorry, not it. Sorry.
That's not it. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
It's a Facebook. Okay, hold on. Facebook. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, it's up.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh.
I
Hard to watch.
have a brain injury.
Stay back.
I am autistic and I have a brain injury. Put me down. I was just trying to get to the doctor and I'm autistic. It takes me an hour to move my car.
I mean, she was just going to the doctor. That's what, she happened to be driving through a street in Minneapolis. And there was some icing going out. And they just grabbed her.
And she wasn't even part of it.
No, not at all. She was going to the doctor.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So, and I realized Renee Good's murder just was so in your face and so many people were watching. And yeah, because she's a mom and a blonde white woman. I know. A lot of people need that thing to be able to see themselves in their victims. I never needed it. People being hurt, I'm always going to, do what I can to prevent harm. But they towed away her car before forensic evidence was taken.
Yeah, I got this ready here.
Okay.
Let me know.
Go ahead.
Look at the gunshot. Look at the gunshot. That I have been told that a woman who was sitting in her car.
Yep. Okay, that's video of the car going away. But yeah, so it was driven away, completely open to the elements, windows wide open. No bullet trajectory testing. They rushed it out of the state before state investigators could examine it. This is a fucking something cover up.
Oh yeah, and they're not allowing Minneapolis or Minnesota. They're not going to share information with them.
Right.
So, and here's the next thing. This is from SheerPost.
And again, I'm going to add, Minnesota could easily arrest this person. They have not. So the state police is doing nothing. They could arrest him on suspicion.
The mayor of Minneapolis doing nothing. They have it's all over the news.
The governor.
You have plenty of cause to go arrest him.
Right. You got video evidence to at least for suspicion enough to arrest somebody. They won't do it.
So I don't know if you got the next one up, but this is SheerPost from Sharon Zhang from Truth Out.
Okay.
DOJ push to investigate Renee Good's widow sparks mass resignation. A push by the Department of Justice to open an investigation into the widow of Renee Nicole Good after her tragic killing at the hands of a federal immigration officer has sparked a mass resignation of federal prosecutors in Minnesota, reports say.
Wow.
According to the reports, at least a dozen federal prosecutors across Washington and Minnesota have indicated their plans to resign. This includes 6 federal prosecutors in the state who left their jobs on Tuesday, and another 6 top prosecutors in the criminal section of the Justice Department in D.C.
That's fantastic. See, that shows real character, resignations. Why don't all of the Democrats resign?
Yeah.
Their organization does a genocide. Resign out of respect. This is really good. I'm glad they are doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And people always ask you, like, well, maybe so-and-so could come run in the Green Party. Like they don't know we exist.
Right.
Like they wouldn't say sure. Like they couldn't at least run independent. No, they like their cushy spot.
Right. But these folks had the character to not say their cushy spot was okay. That's the difference.
I mean, go scroll back where you were. Look on the sidebar. Look at that. So that's Mr. Fish.
Oh yeah, Mr. Fish.
I don't know if you can click on that, but it's freaking incredible.
I'm afraid to click on it, but go check it out.
It's Hitler whispering to Trump. Just keep doing what
I'll try it. Oh, no, it's not doing anything.
Oh, Mr. Fish has like incredible graphics. He's so amazing.
He's great.
Political art, I will call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, people that have the courage of their convictions, they don't just go along to get along, right? That's how a lot of bad things happen in our world. So, and speaking of that, this was at the Illinois State Board of Investment.
Right.
In Illinois, we have $15 million worth of Israeli bonds. What our state is buying Israeli bonds for?
Yeah.
They're set to expire in February. There was protests to Michael Frericks, which is our state treasurer, to let them expire.
Right.
And the total, we were told a couple weeks ago, is like $145 million. What could that money do for our state?
Right.
But go ahead and play it.
My children deserve safety and security too. Our children deserve safety and security too. Not just yours. Free Palestine. Take us down. They violently tried to tear us apart. They aggressively put their hands on us. My loved ones are being murdered. Funding their slaughter. Just stand and watch. We refuse to allow them to continue to invest our money money in violence. In Israel, abroad, against Palestinians, and here in Chicago, against the immigrant communities.
Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs and ISBE Vice Chair has invested over $100 million of Illinois public funds in Israel bonds based off his own personal political beliefs. Israeli economy is slowly crumbling, only managing to stay afloat with the help of U.S. bailouts.
Right.
So Michael Frerichs' continued commitment to investing in Israel bonds is not only a poor economic decision for the people in Illinois, but it's also a deeply immoral one.
Let us end! Let us end! Let us end! Let us end!
Illinois is one of the leading state governments in the U.S. in regards to supplying material support to Israel.
The current investment portfolio is an ideological document in addition to a financial one. It is also risk prone.
Ford has invested over $8 million in Caterpillar, nearly $2 million in Teledyne, which is a part of the F-35 supply chain, $50,792 in Cadre Holdings. Not only does Cadre Holdings provide tear gas canisters that have been used to directly strike Palestinian protesters, killing several, but they have also been used against Chicagoans resisting their loved ones being snatched up by ICE.
Right.
2 years into genocide, and Michael Frerichs, you actually doubled down in your support for Israel. You didn't only renew existing Israel bonds, you purchased new ones. Why aren't we investing in our communities here? I'm done. I want to say is that we are not going to leave today unless we get verbal confirmation that you are going to divest from Israel bonds.
There we go.
We are not leaving. We are not leaving.
It is time. Divest from genocide.
Divest from genocide.
Personally push me out for filming.
Open Meetings Act.
This is a complete violent escalation by the Illinois State Board of Investment and by the Illinois State Police who are supporting them.
And so we have to escalate our action. And so let's make sure that they know loud and clear that we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, and we were at some of the earlier ones. I have not been. I was not at this protest, but Illinois Green Party has been at some of the earlier ones.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm on this guy's email list, and all he ever talks about is his own family. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
You know, good for you. I'm glad your life is amazing, but you're literally approving funds to go kill other people's families. So not okay on any level. Yeah. So the next is a SharePost article, and this is how Minneapolis is responding. Minneapolis and Minnesota. This was written by Joshua Shear, or posted. And the picture is from Greg Livingston. From Rage to Revolt, Minnesota organizes a January 23rd shutdown. And as far as I know, it's going to go on until ICE leaves their state. This is what we need. I don't know if you want to play any of these videos. You can. I haven't really watched them. I don't know what they are, but
we could. Okay.
To quote a familiar line, if these and other images.
Have y'all not learned? Oh, this guy's real scum. Yeah, we could do this.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You want us to learn? Following federal agents. Give me my phone back.
Oh, it's real short. Okay. He's just some ass. Sorry.
Yeah, you want to read whatever you want out of there? I read the first part, yeah.
Okay.
We can play the next one too if you want.
To quote the familiar line, if these and other images we are seeing out of Minnesota and across the country were coming from a third world country, we would already be discussing military options, right? Yeah, we need military intervention here. Of course, because our thug president admires regimes run by fascist strongmen, he would do nothing. Oh, this is where Vesey Gentura goes out there. We can show it. I think I saw this. It's up to you.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to do this, but I had to go to the school board.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. He's talking about running for governor again, but he's still in the Democrat mindset bubble. Even though he was an independent governor, I still think he's got that in his head somewhere.
Right.
But he's been out of politics for I don't know how long.
And weren't we trying to get him to run green? Right.
Oh, I
can't remember. That was some years back. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's that, Brian? Remember Biden said at the LA fires, well, pretty bad here, but the good news is I am a grandfather.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, but it makes a good point what Edie had said. Michael Frericks can only talk about his own damn family. That's selfishness. It's sick. It's sick. I get, that's why Edie and our brains are different. We actually care about families that we don't know who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
We care about families. You see that kid in the bed, and I just lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to know them to know that what happened to them was wrong, and then I will fight it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know we're kind of doing rapid fire, but there's a theme. The first part was Greg Stoker. Second part, Gaza was tied into that because that's very much tied in, and it's also tied into what's happening here in the United States. So our second section is all about ICE. So Richard Wolff had a piece on SharePost. ICE terror, executive policing, and why a general strike could flip the script. I just want to, if you want to read something else, but I really liked this paragraph. The conversation ultimately turns toward the possibility of a needed general strike, which Wolff frames as both a logical response to escalating repression and a tactic with the potential to shift the balance of power. As he puts it, the ruling class has tolerated the administration's excesses so long as the tax cuts keep flowing. But the rising social cost of ISIS actions may soon force a reckoning.
Yeah.
And we love Richard Wolff. He's so on point.
Yeah, I did watch one of his general strike videos. It just kind of got me angry because the buildup is great, and then we need a general strike, and then it goes to commercial, and I'm like, oh, I tried to get back. Oh no, that was the end of the video. It's like, talk about the general strike. So, and I'm sure there are ones, but it was just I don't know if it was this one, but I was talking to Edie before. I just want to make sure when people talk about general strike, because even, before early on, we were talking about a general strike for Palestine, and we were saying do it on the day of. And now I realize, no. A general strike has to be a shutdown that continues, and it continues until the pressure gets too much that the government has to do something and stop.
It continues until we get concessions.
So that's what I want to make sure that this general strike is. It's a complete shutdown that stays. So, And I think we have the announcement of the Minneapolis one, right?
Yeah, I think that's the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Minneapolis general strike is to Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I can't see it.
I'll read it. On January 13th, a coalition of faith leaders, union presidents, business owners, and community figures in Minneapolis called on every worker in Minnesota to refuse to show up to work and every single Minnesotan not to spend a dime on Friday, January 23rd, to demand an end to the violence and horror that ICE has unleashed on the community and the agency's complete from the state. We are to leverage our economic power, our labor, our prayer for one another, said Janae Betts, co-executive director of Isaiah MN, an interfaith and multiracial community organizing network. We are not going to shop. We are not going to work. We are not going to school on Friday, January 23rd. Yeah. See, again, I
hope they stay.
It isn't. That's the problem. Is if they're not planning on it, I think an action, if a single day, if it's really a lot of people involved, could be okay. But I don't think a general strike is a thing until people just refuse to go back. And I understand people at jobs. That's rough. Mm-hmm. But and we had talked about that previously. In Italy, all the unions did it. All of the unions went on that strike. And I understand that the union situation in this country is nothing like in other countries because, again, the establishment, the Democrats, they have taken over those unions and made them fairly worthless. The leaders of the unions comply to everything.
Yeah, they call it business unionism. The leadership works with the company,
right,
and ignores their members.
And doesn't do something like this, where you're taking an action for social change.
Mm-hmm. And they tend to block people that would get in there and actually do the change.
And there was that law that got passed that made it illegal. It was bipartisanship. I mean, it was some years back. Yeah.
You can blame the Democratic Party for the devastation of unions in this country because they used to support them, and protect them, and then they decided banks were better because they can make more money.
Right.
So they ditched them back in the 90s for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going.
No, things are getting really, really bad.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Go.
You don't need to be in a union to go on strike. All you really need is to work with your community, your family, and make sure that you will be okay, that you will have food, that you can, keep your electricity on. That's where mutual aid comes in. So start that today. Reach out to people that you know in your community and find out what is available. And that's the work that needs to be done. Go volunteer there and help build that infrastructure. So then I think we're there, but I don't think we're quite ready to completely go. It's going to depend on what your community has put together. But then you can sustain it.
Right.
And that will be effective.
I know that, it's no official announcement, but I know that, Griselda and Edie, the two candidates, governor and lieutenant governor, are working with a major general strike organization. So, there may be more announcements in the future, but I hope that January 23rd can be really effective. I just feel that, great, do that, but in the next step has to be a continuing one.
Yeah, it needs to be sustained.
Sustained.
They would crumble in a month, people.
I would say a week. I mean, I think you shut everything down completely. Yeah, it would.
Because what do billionaires care about?
Money.
Did you want to play that? I am Blake.
Oh, did you put it in?
No, I can't put it in. It's Facebook.
But I mean,
it's in the show.
It's in the show. Okay.
We're doing pretty good on time. It's 1:03 and we're almost through our second segment.
Okay. Just tell me where it is.
Right underneath the one you just put in.
Really?
Oh, hang on. Right above the low lift national.
Right above the low lift national.
The
Minneapolis general strike.
The graphic.
It says, oh, maybe I got to refresh. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I didn't refresh. Got it. Okay.
All right. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share the stream. This is information that people need. We are handing out tools in this live stream. Pick them up and keep each other safe. This is how we fight back. They are not going to stop until they control the world.
And I'm a big fan of I Am Blakely. She's just the best. She's still a little tied to Democrats. She thinks that some super progressive Democrats can do it. But I mean, for the most part, she's totally on board.
Yeah. And everybody has their own
great.
journey. I've been through a journey. Every time you join something, you think it's one thing, you find out it's another.
Yeah.
You learn that. You don't do that again.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path to enlightenment. Yeah, go ahead and play.
Okay.
Any longer. I believe that right now I have 8 upcoming stays with Hilton on the books. I want to cancel all of those. I have already rebooked every single one of those stays with Marriott.
I cannot emphasize the importance enough of what she's doing there. And everybody should be following suit. We've been talking a lot about the ICE thugs and people getting out on the street, especially white women who have been out on the street and on the front lines of the ICE protests, which I'm still seeing constantly, which I think is great, seeing so many women in Minneapolis standing on the front lines of the protest, recording them. Yes, keep recording them. But this is something that people also need to remember is an incredibly powerful tool, especially since we live in a late stage capitalist hellhole that all our government cares about is money. Okay. They don't care about us. They don't care about the citizens. They care about money and corporations. Okay. Because corporations are the government. That's the fascism too. Okay. Corporations and government have like merged, and it's been like that for a while. Kind of one of the reasons why people talked about Citizens United being a huge problem for years and nobody listened. But anyway, when you have a fascist government that has merged with the corporations and corporate power, it is incredibly important how you use your money and making a statement with your money. Because again, that is all these bitches care about. This woman who is a diamond status member of the Hilton, which I don't even know what that means because I've never had enough money to be a member at any of these places. But this woman, I'm not saying she's like super rich or anything, but she clearly has enough money to where she's booking 8 stays at the Hilton. And she called their asses and she canceled all of her stays. And she let them know it was because of ICE and the fascism in this government. That is the vibe. That is the energy. Good for her. That is how you use your white privilege.
Yep.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love
What good is it if you're not going to use it for
Right.
to fight back?
And so we do have a list of companies that are involved with ICE.
Is it
And
this
so,
one?
yes. So, and both of these, yes. So these, you need to be boycotting these folks, just like we've been boycotting the BDS, which is an excellent boycott, and now this for ICE. So Dell, UPS, FedEx, Motorola, Comcast, AT&T, LexisNexis, and Home Depot and Lowe's. Yeah, we've seen those.
Yeah, and I would add Target to that list.
Okay.
And because they're allowing ICE to come on their property and kidnap people. They allowed one of their employees to be kidnapped in their lobby.
Yeah.
We showed you that last week.
Yeah. And then there's the other one, which is
I got it.
Okay.
Oh.
Oops, sorry. The high lift, I don't know how they differentiate it. I didn't get it. But Amazon, because folks, you don't have to do Amazon. You just don't. And especially you can go to boycott Whole Foods. That's another way to get at Amazon. And then Palantir. I don't know how you boycott Palantir, but be aware of it and be aware that is the effing most evil company. Is that Peter Thiel?
Peter Thiel, yeah. I tell you how you boycott Palantir. Don't vote for Democrats.
Yeah. Or Republicans, folks. Trust. Yeah.
Illinois.
I know. But yeah, just stop.
Don't vote for the people that they support.
And again, I'm gonna, these progressive Democrats, look at where their funding goes, folks. Act Blue. That's the Democratic Party, folks. Their money goes into the system that is part of this.
Yeah,
and they just voted to send more money to Israel.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're ever in doubt, say you're looking through your email, you're like, "What's this? I never signed up for this. Who's these people?" Well, it's usually because somebody sold your information, repackaged it, and gave it away. So I've been getting emails from like Citizens Alliance or whatever. You go to their donate pages, Act Blue. The Democrats sold my information again. I have tried to unsubscribe to them so many times. I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
Can we do the tripping ice? Can we do that one?
Yeah, we can do that one.
And
then we'll move on to your favorite subject and mine.
Because folks are having a little fun here with the ICE agents. I may let it run twice because I may have missed.
Okay. Okay, it's up, ready to go.
Okay.
Got the sound on.
I love how they just jumped right on the officer. Dad, here we go. I didn't know they had the music. Okay, that was fun. I didn't know they added that music. I only
What is that? Is that Benny Hill?
That's Benny Hill. Yeah, it's a classic Benny Hill music. It's like the best music ever.
Beautiful.
Although I don't know the original of that music, I'm sorry to say. And hopefully we didn't play it too long, so we'll get.
No, I think you're allowed a few seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next thing I'll bring up is our next graphic, which I absolutely love.
And I saw that there were some people who had cars and were pouring water out into the streets so that ice would slip. I mean, yeah. But that's the kind of thing that I think we do need really, really creative ways. Like I was, I don't know, like have drones come out and drop nets. We need to get creative. We need to get creative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can put up that graphic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they're on your property, get out your garden hose, spray them. It's winter.
Yeah, there you go.
I just water my lawn.
Yeah.
What are you doing on my property?
Yeah. I mean,
It's like Home Alone.
Yeah.
The original Home Alone.
Right? Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah,
Right.
Forget anything
Watch
with blue
that
in
film, folks. Get inspired. Watch that film.
Forget anything with blue in it. A friend of mine is still going to ICE protests as a big dim, but disguised as an animal, so frightened of this world. They want you frightened. Stop being scared.
Yeah, I mean, the frogs were really funny. The frogs were funny, but that's
I bought one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good joke for a week because it it was just Portland, really Portland. So I mean, that was funny, but things are way more serious now. So yeah, I'm not sure the animal thing works anymore.
Yeah, every day we need to repeat this. This should be what you say when you get up and have your coffee.
Right.
Democratic Party chose genocide and Trump over no genocide and no Trump.
And seriously, folks, that really think about that. That is absolutely true. They had the data. It's come out now that they had the data. They knew. That's why they were not willing to release their autopsy thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had the data that showed that the fact that they wouldn't try to stop the genocide is why they were down in the polls. So they knew that if they just had even lied, but if they had actually tried to do something about the genocide, they would have won and they would have beaten Trump. So they picked genocide and Trump. That's
over
folks,
all of us.
They knew they were going to lose. They knew they were going to lose, folks. They knew exactly what they were doing, and that's the decision they made because they are controlled by Zionists.
Yep. Yeah, they chose their donors.
Yep.
So say that every morning.
Yeah.
Every time a Democrat starts shaming you for how you voted or because you didn't vote, which I had a front row seat to that down here in Cropperndale.
Right.
Yeah. At the most inappropriate time ever, at the Renee Good candlelight vigil, to be shamed,
By who was this?
Her name's Nell Batrell.
Well, I just meant she is the Democratic.
She's Democratic Party county board. She's my rep. Didn't even know that at the time.
Yeah.
And then because I was not even going to say anything to her, I just started shaking my head like, oh man, here we go. But she did not like that I was shaking my head, so she started calling me out.
As the Green Party candidate for lieutenant governor, folks, she was calling her out because she was the Green Party candidate.
Yeah. It was just total disrespectful to everybody that was there. I don't care about her picking on me. I don't care about that. I can hold my own, but to shame those young people that came because their hearts were broken.
Right. Because the woman had been murdered, and that's what you were gathering around.
Yeah. Ugh. What an opportunist. Gross.
Ugh.
Oh, it's Yakety Sax.
Oh, the song?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I never knew that. I watched that show back when I was a kid, so I never knew that. Thank you. Wow.
I feel like I knew that. I think the next thing might be this graphic. And this is the one you've been
referring
to.
Yeah. Right. I was saying, I thought we moved it to next week. Thank you for keeping it here.
Oh.
Yeah. 153 House Democrats voted with the Republican majority to pass the Financial Services and General Government National Security, blah, blah, blah Act, which had aid to Israel. No less than $3.3 billion shall be available for Israel. 153 Democrats knowing the pressure that they've been on with Track, APAC, and all that crap, all the pressure that's been put on the Democrats. And what do? 153 of them vote to give more money to Israel. Do you understand?
Yeah, and remember last week we were talking about how most of them voted to praise ICE for the great work they were doing. That was just last year, y'all.
Yeah, in the summer. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they increased. Oh, right now. Okay,
and they increased the funding.
Right. And so right now they are increasing. There's a bill up. And we're going to see. In fact, I'm sure we'll cover it next week, next Saturday, because I think on the January 29th is the day it has to go through or something. I don't follow this stuff, but a bill to fund ICE more, and the Republicans need 60, so they need some Democrats. How much do you want to bet Dick Durbin signs that bill? Because he's retiring.
And Tammy Duckworth will do it just because she's Tammy Duckworth.
She signed this last one for the money to Israel. She signed this last one, folks. The Democrats will do just enough to let the Republican bill get passed. Did we? Are we covering in this show about the judge? I think so. Is that one of the?
I don't think so.
We may not have saved that one.
But I do love this one.
Yep. Photo on the left is Gavin Newsom standing up to the homeless. Yeah, get in there, kick their tents out. Photo on the right is Gavin Newsom standing up to ICE. Oh, I thought that was polar bear in a snowstorm. If you're wondering why he'll never be president, I can't help you. Well, I hope that the last statement is true, but my God, the liberals are just, I mean, he's very attractive, folks. He's a hottie. So God, they're the Democrats are just gonna, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
People.
What is it I keep saying? I can't remember. I'm sure I said it on the show, but it keeps crystallizing like you're in an abusive relationship. You know, like blink 3 times if you want to leave, you know?
Right.
It's like, oh, baby, I know we had a fight last night and I was out of control and, you know, I didn't protect you, but if you just let me back in the house one more time.
I know. We didn't vote hard enough. We didn't vote hard enough for Kamala. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Right. Here's another one, Dystopian Daily. I think that's the next.
Oh, I love Dystopian Daily.
Oh, I don't think I have it in yet. You might have to talk about something else.
Okay. Well, yeah. While you're working.
What is this? Oh, that's the last one. Okay.
So
there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah. Let's see. Where are we here? Oh, yeah. Dystopian Daily. That is, I could just read it. It's just so a Trump judicial nominee. So that's lifetime appointment, folks. 7 Democrats voted to confirm it because that's how many the Republicans needed. So Durbin, see, I was right. Hassan, Kane, Tim Kaine ran for VP. King, Klobuchar.
Angus King, he's supposed to be the independent.
Yeah. Klobuchar, Shaheen, and Welch.
Shaheen, District 9, Illinois, right?
This would be the Senate. So because Durbin, if Dick Durbin voted, this is a Senate vote.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. It's a different
I must be thinking about something.
Yeah. But folks, the Democrats will always be there to help the Republicans. They just try to not publicize this shit, but Dystopian Daily follows it. Dystopian Daily, I can't recommend them enough, folks. Go to Facebook and find it. Dystopian Daily. Love them.
Well, and they actually do something worse. You know, they lie to your face about it, then go do their job and do the opposite of what they said.
Right.
What they stood for.
I don't know who Dystopia Daily is. I sent them a message asking them to come on our show. They haven't responded yet, but I love them.
You know, there is some freedom in people not knowing who you are. So
right.
So the next thing is Nick Cruz.
Oh.
Here, you know, I think, do I have that?
Is this
It's a video.
X. It's X. This is good, folks. Okay, here we go. Love Nick Cruz.
Okay, let me know when you got it up. There you
And
go.
I might be able to do a full screen. I think so.
And I can't tell you how disappointed I am in Mr. Cornel West.
Oh my God. I mean, if you listen, hopefully the audio.
Still learning curve, even in 2024.
I mean, no, I don't think it's a learning curve. This guy's hopeless. Here it is.
I mean, me.
Oh. Are you talking about him?
Dr. Cornel West and the entire professional managerial class left comes out in support of the violent Mossad regime change protests in Iran.
Shame on those on the left who view precious Iranians solely as pawns and not understanding, in fact, that you can never justify massive repression in the name of some anti-imperialist project.
Oh my God.
We've got to be anti-imperialist, morally consistent against any form of oppression.
I absolutely do not support the way the Iranian government has responded to that. I think that the Iranian government and every government should respect the right of people to express their political opinions and for people to be able to do so safely.
Many of our Iranian brothers and sisters need our help right now. And one of the biggest ways that we can do that is by continuing to attract eyeballs and continuing to not let this issue slip out of the public light.
Notice how the professional managerial class left always repeats uncritically empire propaganda about regime change operations in countries that are enemies of the United States and the Zionist regime. These are the same people who supported the head choppers in Syria,
right,
the Nazis in Ukraine,
and
now they want us to support the Mossad traitors who burned down mosques and executed Iranian officials. Can you imagine what the United States government would do to us if we did a fraction of what the Iranian protesters have done, siding with hostile foreign powers to destabilize the state? AOC, Zohran Mamdani, and the entire professional managerial class left was just condemning anti-genocide, pro-Palestinian protesters for protesting genocidal, pro-apartheid synagogues and claimed they was anti-Semitic for doing so. So they condemn ordinary American activists for protesting genocidal synagogues who sell off Palestinian land, but support the Mossad-aligned terrorists in Iran who burn down mosques? You guys see how they're not even trying to be intellectually consistent here? Do you really believe that Dr. Cornel West, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Zohran Mamdani is unaware of the violence surrounding these protests and how they are linked to the Mossad by their own admittance? No, they know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
They are useful idiots for the Zionist regime.
So do you guys get it? I mean, we're going to show you all we got the receipts for this whole thing. We're going to go longer because I really want to cover this. But yeah, and there's Zohran Mamdani doing the work of the Zionists, folks. If I swear to God, when are you going to learn? When are you going to learn?
Yeah, Alexandria says, talking about Cornell, he's such a phony. We dodged a problem by him leaving the Green Party.
Yep.
And getting the Sign Where campaign going.
Thank you, Alexandria. That is such a good point. I mean, I get fooled too. I was all into it. I was like, oh my God, he's well known. Oh wow, we've got a celeb. But look at what a fucking, and that the way he couches it in such anti-imperialist talk, like we're betraying the Iranian protesters. We'll show you who these protesters are, folks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Thank you, Nick Cruz, for putting all that together.
Oh, I wanted to do this really quick. Hang on.
Yeah.
So put the words United States in that statement. Okay. I want to read it the way it should have been written. The United States government's violent crackdown on demonstrators is horrific and must stop now.
Right.
All people have the right to protest their government without fear of violence. I support the United States or United Americans or whatever taken to the streets to call for a better future.
Right, but no.
Minnesota, Chicago, LA.
But
New
no,
Orleans.
she talks about the horrible Iranian government's violent crackdown. Folks, do you know these protesters murdered 80 policemen? 80 policemen they killed. And there was mass. We didn't because there's so much to cover. We didn't cover it. There was a huge funeral. There were hundreds of thousands of people out for the funeral, and they had the caskets of the policemen that had been murdered by these folks. Okay, so this is not protesting. This is destabilization for regime change. Ultra violent violence is what this was. And this is what AOC is getting down on the Iranian government, and Zohran Mamdani. They disapprove of the Iranian government. So there's a video that went with this, because when there's no link, but there was a video that went with this. I decided not to show it. He's out there. They have the bodies just on these tables, and he is a forensic expert, and he was doing a video, and it's also in Arabic. But I'll just say it. A forensic expert in Iran drops a bombshell saying the deaths of protesters were not caused by the Iranian government. According to his analysis, the victim wounds revealed deliberate long-range headshots, a pattern consistent with highly trained snipers rather than security forces managing demonstrations. The precision and distance of the shots do not match standard riot suppression tactics. He also notes the use of weapons not typically issued to Iranian security guards, including firearms fired from rooftops and other elevated positions. He points to coordinated, premeditated murder carried out by actors with specialized training. So, yeah. And
the next thing we have was the Jeffrey Sachs piece.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah. Let me take this down, wherever it is.
And let me know when you got it, because I got them on full screen.
Oh, there he is.
Media.
Go for it.
So,
let me start.
Our mainstream media are so lame or so bought or so phony that they report that the Iranian government has lost control of the economy without saying that the United States has crushed the Iranian economy. So, as usual, the public is told a big lie, and that is, look at how terrible the Iranian government is to its people. But the whole idea is for the United States and Israel to make life as miserable as possible for the people of Iran, as if this is a normal thing, with the goal of regime change. And if the regime change doesn't work, as the president explains, the United States is ready to intervene militarily. Remember that Trump is basically a handmaiden of the Zionist cause, the Zionist lobby in the United States, the Israeli government, and so he does their bidding. And if the attempt at regime change through maximum pressure, tariffs on countries that trade with Iran, assassinations of Iranians, which has been par for the course, and so forth, doesn't work, I would expect outright attacks by the United States very soon.
And I think I heard that they were about to go last night, and then they Trump backed off. That was what I had heard.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's...
And doesn't that sound familiar? Venezuela?
Right. So the background there was that, so the, I am out for whoever controls the currency. I'm not good with that stuff, but they caused a disruption in Iran's economy. Mm-hmm. And there were protests originally. That's how it is. There's such a pattern here, folks. It happens the same way each time. There's a legitimate protest. It was kind of middle-class business folks who were protesting the Iranian government for, seeing that the economy was crashing there. And so they were protesting it. Well, day 3 of that protest, suddenly everybody's getting slaughtered. So, there is a difference between a regular protest and then mass murder. Mm-hmm. And again, it isn't, we have some clips, I think, showing how Mossad is involved in some of the terrorists that we always hire, like ISIS was involved. But that's how it works. There's a protest, they go in there, and, Israel is so, that's what they do. They assassinate folks. So this is not by any stretch. And AOC, Zoran Badani, Bernie Sanders, they know what's going on. They're not dumb. It isn't that hard to find this stuff. We found it. They know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they are invested in telling you the opposite.
Right.
Because they like their cushy job. They like their health care that we don't have.
And they know their audience is going to believe them.
Yeah.
I mean, you still see these people that just idolize AOC and Bernie Sanders and Zoran Badani. They just, so reverence. So they're going to believe anything they say, and they're not going to do a little more research. It isn't that hard. You do a little more research.
Yeah, let me know when you get the clip up. But it's the same story, We have to see these as they are just people. Do not worship them. They are supposed to serve you. You're not supposed to serve them. They were put there to do the people's business. Are they doing it? Can anybody here say that they are representing the United States population? They know that we want Medicare for all. They know that we want ice off our streets. They know that we want a living wage. They know all these things, and yet, does it ever happen? Has it even been talked about in the past year? Yeah, so gross. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Do you want to say who this is?
So Glenn Deason is the interviewer, and Saeed Marandi, he gets interviewed a lot. He's, it says former advisor to Iran's nuclear negotiation team. So
yeah, and that last video. So this is on, his show, and then the last video was Judge Napolitano on X.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know. Okay.
Well, that was what this whole thing was about from the beginning. They manipulated the currency in order to create unhappiness, unrest, and then their highly trained teams, very well trained. The police have been saying that this is not like anything they've seen before. Their teams went out and systematically started destroying property and killing people. So this was all about creating, instability in Iran, or at least a narrative of instability in Iran. Let's say that would be more accurate, to legitimize strikes against the country. And that's why the CIA and Mossad and others are doing this. They're trying to create the justification for war. But Iran is prepared for war. And after the protests that we saw today, people are behind the scenes, just like during the 12-Day War. These people who carried out the riots, they were not with the people during the 12-Day War. They were opposed. They were on the other side. They were a small minority. But after today, if the United States strikes, these are the people who are going to be steadfast and standing firm when Iran strikes back. And Iran may strike first if Iran sees that there's some sort of imminent threat. That's a new policy. The Iranians have said that we may actually carry out, if we feel threatened, we can carry out a strike initially before they do. Because Trump has threatened Iran, and the Israeli regime has already carried out a blitzkrieg attack. So Iran today is much more prepared for war. Ironically, the last 10 days have turned out to strengthen Iran rather than weaken Iran. It's made the population united and angry at these rioters and terrorists and the Westerners behind them, because they've caused a lot of death and grief and damage.
Right.
So I think that the whole objective from day one, which began with the currency manipulation, was to create an environment to justify war, and that's what Trump would do. Like the American.
Yeah, and I got two comments. My protest crowd in Chicago, I'll see what their comments are. There are people in this country that are activist protester folks, and it's always about the workers. And so they're always supporting, protests. Yeah, but it's for the workers. Well, we'll see how they, what they feel about this one. And then the other thing is just, we did report, it was kind of scary. I think it was December 31st. There was an article how now we provided Israel with a new Iron Dome system, like, I don't know, Steel Dome or something. Because if you know the 12-day war, what happened was Israel attacked Iran. Iran shot back and forth, back and forth. Then at some point, Israel's Iron Dome just collapsed, and Tel Aviv was getting bombed like crazy. And they just panicked. They were like, okay, ceasefire. So that might be what's going on. Maybe they feel they have a better defense system so they can now really start the attack again. But it seems like it's very imminent.
And who supported, Israel having the right to defend themselves, and who voted for Iron Dome funding?
AOC
and Bernie.
Oh.
I know he still has to say that. It's like rote, like, I have to like give my fealty before I can say the thing I need to say.
Yep.
Israel has the right to defend itself.
Yep. Oh, you do a better Bernie than I do. I'm terrible with it. That was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I listened to him for 3 years, so yeah, probably got it just in the banks.
Well, you really worked on his campaign, right? You were really helpful.
I did. I would. That's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at y'all. Just when new information comes, let it in. Turn it around. Think about it.
Yep.
And then look back at where you were and say, is that what I still think after learning this new thing? It's okay to be wrong. It is actually braver to admit when you're wrong than it is to stick to your guns, no matter what you hear.
Right.
And
yeah,
so this is the challenging times. If you want to get the next clip ready, I can kind of
this. And right, millions are out in the streets pro-government, folks. So that's what our mainstream press is not saying. Millions.
Yeah, it says on the sideline, violent protests were continuation of 12-day war.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That was their take. Yeah, that's a good take. That's a real good take.
Yep. And I don't think they're anti-government. Looks like that's the Iranian flag down there.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Now, the next video we're going to show is kind of confusing, but it's going to show this kind of warehouse that they're all running out from. And later there's another video showing all the supplies that they had of all the military grade weapons that are sitting in this place. So, and they grabbed them and proved that they were Mossad agents. And although, again, it's a mixture. It's Mossad, it's CIA paid ISIS and other terrorist folks that they brought in. So anyway, it's a short clip. But the cars are the Iranian police that are coming in. So, and it says, you won't see this in Western media. Iran security forces neutralized dozens of Mossad agents in a major operation. So,
brought to you by the Green Live Stream.
Yes. And again, I don't know which day that was, but that was them. They had discovered this hub of the.
Yeah, I want you to bring up the clip next from, was it Max Blumenthal?
Oh yeah,
I think we missed it, and then we can close it out. Where was it?
Next one, burning mosque. Yep.
Yeah. So these are what these people were doing. Not only shooting protesters, but they're doing this.
It looks like it's about to run.
And no one talks about the Nakba. We do.
Yes, right. 1948. I just don't know if this. Oh yeah, it is working. Okay,
here we go. Adding it to stage.
Only 12 seconds.
Can you make it big?
I'm trying to get it to the beginning.
Over a little more.
Seems like it's got a. No, I was the audio because I didn't hear anything. But let's see. Let's give it a shot. No audio. I don't know why. Anyway, this is them burning a mosque down, folks. So that's part of this whole thing. I have to say, I do not understand, but they're talking in these terms of like wanting to de-Arab Iran. So it's that same kind of sick logic of like, the Israelis say that land is theirs because of 3,000 years ago, some stupid crap. It's that same concept. So part of the terrorism that has been happening is them burning mosques in Iran. So there's just a video that Max Blumenthal found of them doing that.
Wow. So yeah. I mean, it's all connected. It is the same forces behind the attacks on foreign countries. They went and practiced out there, and now we're reaping the rewards, I guess you could say. Because it always, whatever country is doing that, it always comes back to their population, because people of good conscience, once they figure out what's going on, will not be okay with it.
Right.
So they had to put repression here as well, and it's only going to get worse until we stand up. But
and this, I just want to add real briefly that this is the same thing they unfortunately successfully did in Syria, folks. This is what they want to do: bringing in the terrorists, cause destabilization, try to crash the economy, have everything just demolished. They can balkanize the place. So that's the plans, and hopefully, I mean, they're saying Iran. They've been around for thousands and thousands of years. There's not one of these countries that just got invented 50 years ago. This is
even 100 years ago.
Right. This is the real thing. So hopefully this never gets going. But Iran has the capabilities to fight back way better than any of those other countries. So get ready.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen.
And we're threatening China with Taiwan too. And I don't have this verified, but I just heard from somebody I spoke to yesterday that China's like, you might hit us once, but you won't hit us twice.
Yeah. And next week, we're going to share a really fun video. There's this guy, Chinese guy, on he's kind of going viral these days. And he compares Taiwan and China to a bad gay relationship. So,
oh, my God.
It's the best. So we'll share that next week.
Oh, Scott, you're so funny.
He's the one who's funny. I'm just showing his stuff. He's brilliant.
So the last article we'll talk about, this is from a fellow Green, C.A. Matthews. She was on our show not too long ago. She does a what is this? SharePost? No, Substack called The Revolution Continues.
Yes.
This is your country on fascism. Any questions? Now, I don't know if most of you are probably not old enough to remember all the war on drugs. They had the skillet. These were PSAs. This is your brain as an egg.
Right.
This is your brain on drugs. So she's making a play on it, which I think is great.
Right.
And that picture, yeah. I mean, that guy basically shot Lady Liberty. My country is the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. Martin Luther King Jr. True in 1967, even truer today. This is your country on fascism. Any questions? The new year is off to one hell of a start, ain't it?
Yeah.
American taxpayers are still funding and arming a genocide in Gaza and ignoring land grabs and murders in the West Bank by Israeli settlers.
Yep.
The U.S. military is pirating oil tankers and has the audacity to bomb Venezuela and kidnap their president and his wife because of a made-up drug trafficking charge. Greenland, Cuba, Iran, what's next on their agenda? And lest we forget, the U.S. attacked Nigeria because supposedly bombing it would save the lives of Christians living there.
Right. Isn't that magical how that works?
There's so much nonstop violence and thievery going on at the hands of the U.S. and their proxy forces throughout the world that it is hard to keep up with the disgusting propaganda spewing forth from the mouth of the self-called peace president. But wait, there's more. The feds in 2026 gladly will look the other way while ICE thugs kill a woman in cold blood in Minneapolis. Things in the U.S. are really that screwed up.
Yeah.
A mother of three, Renee Nicole Good, was shot in the face by masked ICE agent Jonathan Ross for attempting to drive away from the scene of one of ICE ISIS kidnappings. I mean, removal of a violent immigrant. Yeah, that there's no comparison. Never mind that the immigrants thereafter usually turn out to be hardworking, tax-paying persons with no criminal history and legal U.S. status. Low-hanging fruit is so much easier to pick. What gives in the land of the free, you ask? I'll tell you, but you won't like the answer. The United States of America is an openly fascist empire, and it's doing what fascist empires normally do, keeping their billionaire rulers deliriously happy. To nip your next question in the bud by what I mean by that, here's this. The U.S. has never been a democracy in any real sense of the term, ever. Just ask non-white Americans and women. Don't forget to ask those who are imprisoned or have been imprisoned in some states about losing the right to vote permanently. Never forget that Native Americans, the indigenous people of the land, weren't even considered U.S. citizens until 1926, and Chinese Americans after that. And don't forget voter roll purges. Americans know how to disenfranchise people with the best of them. Before you get too upset, it gets worse.
Yeah, I mean,
Its representative style of governance is effective for only super wealthy persons called oligarchs, elites, or simply billionaires. Their interests are very well represented by their well-paid Congress members and senators to do their bidding for the promise of a big campaign contributions. The 2014 Princeton study calls the U.S. an oligarchy, and its politicians' actions more than prove it. How did the U.S. end up this way? If you're an American voter, you might have helped without even knowing it. How? You might have done this thing called lesser evil voting, which helps install puppets into office who work hard to please the oligarchs. But fascism? What's that about? Simply put, oligarchs, billionaires, own corporations, and corporatism is what fascism is all about.
And so, folks, here we are with at least a promise of some change here with Greg Stoker. We're really excited about his campaign. We're going to cover it, and we are going to be covering more campaigns because there are more to come. And our own state candidates, Griselda Romero and Edie Arndell, are running for governor and lieutenant governor. And Joe Harrington is running for state senate, and he's going to be on our show on Wednesday. So, and we may have more announcements coming for state candidates. So, and maybe congressional candidates. We'll see. We got a little time left. And that's just Illinois, folks. Alexandria made a great point, and there is going to be some graphics coming out of all the candidates across the country who are running with the Green Party. Because the Green Party is the hope here, and I get it. Electoral is only one tool in the toolbox.
But let's use it.
Yeah, let's use it, folks. Let's use it along with the other like parallel systems that we need to be setting up, folks. So, yeah.
So in closing, and I want to thank everybody for being with us today. So like Scott said, join us Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Joe Harrington, Illinois Senate candidate running against Raja that takes money from Palantir.
Yeah.
So please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. If you go to the show notes, please donate, volunteer, become a member. Of course, I put in Illinois Green Party because that's who we are. But if you're not here, or if you want to donate to Illinois, that's also fine. But if you're not here and you want to find somebody local, just go look. I'm sure they're there.
Right. And remember,
we are the resistance we've been waiting for.
There you go. And remember, Green Live Stream is literally not insane. I stole that, by the way, from somebody.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. I feel like we should end there. I had something else I wanted to say, but
that's
just really quickly, the situation on the ground has changed. The cost of doing nothing is now much greater than the cost of doing something.
Right.
When you agree?
Right.
We've given our audience the tools of resistance, something you can use right now. And you can boycott, you can support mutual aid in your community, you can go on strike, you can have an open and honest conversation with your family and friends. Just speak from the heart, and just tell them how you feel, and come with the knowledge. And please, I have a friend that was flying. The airports are empty, by the way. Do not comply in advance. You do not have to allow them to scan you.
Right.
And we need to build what comes next. This is what Greg Stoker is doing. This is what we are doing. We cannot continue to wait. until it is our community and it's our neighborhood and our street. And maybe somebody from our family is kidnapped, brutalized, or killed.
Right.
Make no mistake, the collapse is well on its way. Are you ready? You got to free our people. You know, we have to free our people, and we have to free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Thanks, everybody, for coming today. We really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I put the donation for Greg in the chat.
Great. All right. Go Greg
righty.
Stoker.
And we'll see you Wednesday.
Bye, everybody. An uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising.